I'm so geeked to talk to you guys. I warn you, this is not very professional. What we do is not very professional. I'm not very professional. We don't try to be professional. We just try to be exponential, and sometimes that gets in the way. And so we're just trying to do some basic stuff, super simple, at the One Multichurch Network. You've never heard of us because nobody has. We've been completely underground. We don't even have a public website on purpose. We are in hiding, doing secret disciple-making stuff. And this is kind of our coming out party. This is the first time we've actually allowed anybody. Yeah. First time we've ever been on stage for anything, because we've not even taken those engagements and haven't really wanted people to know much about it while we incubate this stuff. And so we want to start a thing called Micro to solve a problem. And here's the problem. All of our training is designed for the 1% of people in the kingdom that have a good amount of education, a lot of Christian education. They have a good amount of free time to be able to do all the homework we want them to do in our training. And what we want to do is help train the other 99% of believers to go out there and disciple people and start microchurches. And we're starting this not as our own brand. It's something that we want to give away and help all y'all and the people you know train the other 99% to make disciples. Sound good? So that's what we want to do. The problem is that really half of the people, even in North America, are unlikely to respond in any way to an invitation to come to any of the churches, like was said earlier here. And so what we need to do is figure out a way, how do we reach them so that we can also equip them to go around the world and to reach the 4 in 10 people who have no access to the gospel out of the billions on this planet. We are completely unequipped for that task because we're completely unequipped for this task here in North America first. So we know that it's needed, but it's also doable. We know that because of our network. You heard a little bit about in the intro of our churches. We've trained 113 people. We actually had one more person today that started the training. And we have seen those people be able to do a simple self-directed online training in 90 minutes and be ready to start making disciples and start a microchurch next week. So we just want it to be that streamlined. Against the 99%, we're not trying to train the Navy SEALs of Jesus. That's who we are, right? But most people don't have time for that. And we're wanting to help train the other 99%. So for instance, that's people like in Arizona. We got a lady who was a postal worker, retired from that, started a microchurch in a storefront, reaching out to all of the New Age people in Sedona and all of the homeless people. So that's her. Pretty basic deal, but it's awesome. She's in our stuff all the time. We had a guy in Indiana, of all places, devout Muslim, was a person of peace, came to one of our microchurches after 6 weeks. He was trained enough in our 90-minute online training in order to go out and start a new microchurch that actually is now meeting every Thursday night in Indianapolis that is majority Muslim church. The majority of the group there is Muslim. If a Muslim can do it, do you think any Christian can? This is our claim. Anyone can start a church. I'm not sure most of us believe that. I know our seminaries don't. I believe it's true. Anyone can start a church if we can just equip them at their level. We got another person of peace out in Pennsylvania, and he had a bar, and he saw what was happening with a microchurch in their community, and the cool thing is he said, we should have one of these in my bar. It's called the Bourbon. Now it's called Bourbon Church, and they just started a month ago. And it's because he hasn't even come to Christ yet, but he is the person that wanted to see it do it. Guess what? Even he could help start a church. So we want to start this online free event because our online self-directed thing is kind of private and underground. We want to go public. We want y'all to help us go public. This needs to be super accessible. It needs to be free. It needs to be about an 8th grade education. It needs to be done in 90 minutes so that people can go do it next week. It's not 9-week intensive thing or a semester deal and nobody has to read all their homework. I'm sorry to tell you, these people are not going to read my book and they ain't going to read yours. We need to just be able to equip them quickly to go out and make disciples and start churches. This is sustainable. We already know that because we're ruthlessly free as a network. Everything we do is free and unprofessional in order to make sure that we do it exponentially. And we would love for you to partner. And by the way, it's all branded micro so that it's not really about our network. We want to help you get people connected in your network, your denomination, your ministry. Sound good? drop by and get one of our stickers, and you can email us at startermicro@gmail.com. Why? Because it's free, it's Gmail, right?